Nitya Siddhas, so karma doesn't play a role in their lives. But how do we understand, if we go through some tribulations, it's an advancement in our sadhana, or it's our sinful reactions?
It's not sinful reactions, first of all. I mean, it can be multiple others, but it's not sinful reaction. The explanation of why, quickly saying why not sinful reaction, because those who engage, our acharyas describe, based on the authority of Bhagavad Gita and the rest, that one who engages in devotional service, their reactions to past sins are cleansed immediately. So if that's ruled out, if that option on the menu list is discarded, what's left? Then it can be different things. So when you or someone dear to you who is a devotee engaging in devotional service undergoes a tribulation, how to understand it? That's essentially what the question is. And if it's not karma, then what is it? There are different ways of scriptural answers to that. It's further purification. One of them is that 1088.8. That is Krishna showing some special favor, and that is supposing someone's not a pure devotee but a mixed devotee. So the other shelters and the aspiration for enjoyment through shelter in the mixed devotee position, it's being taken away and being taken away because the asset is being taken away. It's not tribulation, it's good fortune. It's not misfortune, it's good fortune. There's other explanations. Here's another one that's kind of in the extreme side, but when Bali Maharaj is tied up, there's an explanation of why he's tied up. And Lord Vamana says it himself. I wanted to show, just see what is the character of Bali, that even he surrendered everything and he's been treated like a criminal. He made no protest and he didn't feel any inconvenience at all. This is his exaltedness. I want everyone to see just how exalted. So it can be an opportunity for us to take deeper shelter, in short. The tribulation is mercy. And that false shelters of false happiness are being taken from us. And when that false shelter and false happiness is taken from us, what's left? At least from the devotional perspective, it's an opportunity to let go of those false shelters and take the real shelter. And there can be other explanations too. It depends on the circumstance. Material life is very complicated. And to put a pin on, here's the cause. And some tribulation or misfortune can be very severe. Very severe. And then there's different responses from different persons to that very severe tribulation. And at least, one of the assessments of, aside from what's the cause, the consequence is maybe taking deeper shelter, as opposed to the cosmetic shelter or the religious shelter but, on a deeper level, shelter. And that's the reason for behind the tribulation. Did you find the verse? Okay.
Chapter 1, chapter 2, and verse 26. Maharaj.
26?
Yes.
Okay.
Those who are serious about liberation are certainly non-envious, and they respect all. Yet they reject the horrible and ghastly forms of the demigods and worship only the all-blissful forms of Lord Vishnu and his plenary portions. And in one portion, Prabhupada is writing that they know very well that these horrible features of the Supreme Lord are all different servitors of the Lord under different conditions, yet they reject the worship of both horrible and attractive features of the demigods.
It's nice. What's your question?
Why are they made fun of like that?
They're being made fun of. There's plus and minus with everything. So they're great personalities. They wouldn't have the position that they have without being great personalities. And great personalities means great personalities. They're Vishnu Bhaktas, exalted Vishnu Bhaktas. And they've got, 1 foot in 2 different boats. So they're mixed. They're not pure. So the deprecation is it's the lack of purity. And therefore, be cautious with the idea of getting a benediction. Bhaktisiddhanta calls them gift-giving demigods. Oh. Gift-giving demigods. So that there's another adjective that he used in that, that their forms, I forget the word that's used, but it's not complimentary. As you say, it's deprecatory. So it's discouraging to go to that place of false shelter. It's not specifically disrespectful, but it's not encouraging going in the direction of that which is meant to give and can't give more than the material. It's just another way of saying the same thing. It is like Prabhupada using the word rascal all the time. In some cases he would speak respectfully, but in many cases he would just say rascal. One of my favorite little video clip of Prabhupada sitting in Los Angeles. There's a little garden by the side where he would sit and receive guests because the weather in Los Angeles is not like Chicago. And in the audience in front of him are 10 professors, all in suits and dressed very nicely, and they're saying, Prabhupada, why do you use this word rascal all the time? I forget exactly how the conversation goes, but he said, essentially he wouldn't budge from the position of calling them. And there's softer ways of saying something. Can you find another word besides rascal? And then he said something to the effect that rascal means a summation of all those other things. And smiled, and they just moved on. They're being polite, but they're sitting at his feet. And he's using the word rascal. And they're saying, anyway. So it's, why this word that's in this Canto 1, Chapter 2, verse 26? Why is he using words like that?
Well, it seems sometimes that because Srimad Bhagavatam is such a pure literature that it understands the value. When you understand the value of something greatly, then it's
Sharper contrast.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Prabhupada was a very unique personality. Yet not everyone's going to be like him. Not everyone should be like him or use the same language. And if we don't use it, if we try to imitate and use the same language without the purity that Prabhupada had, it's a big mistake. I mean, I particularly that scene I like because there they were. They weren't criticizing. They weren't complaining. They weren't faulting. These are scholars. They're used to, academia can be vicious. But, they're very mildly and accepted his, carrying on with this summation of all those other things. Rascal. Oh. It's his style, his personality. Anything else? Krishna Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.